Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Exciting day here, day 3 of the Cloud Computing Expo, Things Expo, DevOps Summit, everything going on today. We're starting off, well, we have already started, as a lot of you will know. We're starting off the main stage keynotes today with a very cool session with Google and Coca-Cola. So, Coca-Cola and Google have powered digital signage that really sets the groundwork for some pretty incredible connections between them and their customers. Pairing high-res signage with software, enabling operators to change their messages, target their customers, get that digital engagement, and really improve the customer experience. There's some pretty awesome things going on. So today I'd like to welcome up Vidya Nagarajan, who is the Senior Product Manager at Google. She leads the Chrome and Android efforts for these purpose-built solutions, things like Chromebox for meetings, digital signage, general kiosks, and solutions for the Internet of Things. And joining Vidya will be Greg Chambers, who is the Global Group Director of Digital Innovation for Coca-Cola. So Greg is designing real-time marketing and IoT platforms, serving as a global thought leader for Coca-Cola around things like IoT, proximity, cloud computing, mobile, social, e-commerce, and big data. So today they're going to talk about why connected companies win and how you can build a roadmap to cloud success. So please join me in welcoming them upstage.
So hi everyone, thank you. Good morning. Thank you for coming so early today and listening to us speak. So again, to introduce myself, I'm Vidya Nagarajan, and I'm a product manager at Google, working on various initiatives within Google Cloud. And here is my friend Greg.
I'm Greg Chambers. I'm the Global Director for Digital Innovation with Coca-Cola.
And we're here today to walk you through various journeys within a connected workspace. And we're also going to talk to you about how a connected customer can win in the cloud with various disruptive technologies. So first, not too long ago, this is how my dad's manufacturing facility in Bangalore, India looked like. So heavy machinery, a lot of workers performing manual, repetitive tasks, floor supervisors coordinating worker shifts, a single desktop used for auto processing and customer management. Cut to the future.
Staying connected starts before you walk through the door, before the day's first smile, before the first product rolls off the assembly line. It starts with giving your employees and customers the right tools at the right time. So you know what color sneakers he prefers, how she's doing on her first day, and where your product is in the supply chain. Strategically placed beacons, smart chips, and Chrome and Android devices mean stronger connections with customers and employees, and streamlined, secure operations that you're actually in control of. It's a world where machine learning provides personalized recommendations, and Chromebooks help employees be more productive. It's like having a bird's eye view of your business at your fingertips. Create, collaborate, and connect with tools and services from Google Cloud.
So what is clear is that technology is clearly impacting the way we conduct our business today, and workspaces need to evolve, and quickly. Google is at the forefront. So businesses across different verticals, leaders in these verticals are anticipating the need for transformation, the need for innovation, so that they can stay truly competitive and relevant. So digital transformation and innovation has also brought with it a slew of complexities and challenges. Consumers are expecting personalization and intelligent interaction with brands. Employees are expecting mobility as well as connectivity regardless of the location. And IT administrators in the company are also experiencing a slew of challenges as data is increasingly in the cloud. They need to be concerned about security and infrastructure considerations. So all in all, together, we are in a mobile first, AI first, and a cloud connected world. So Google products have already been used by billions globally. And we are at the forefront of enterprise innovation and transformation. And we want to participate and partner with you in bringing about this kind of a transformation in your workplace as you're navigating through this increasingly complex landscape. So if we combine together devices and apps, along with collaboration and connectivity tools to empower your employees and customers, with Google Cloud, if you use that to store and scale and secure the data while using and considering identity management that is front and center, along with developer tools that allow you to build custom workflows that transform your own organization. And of course, all of this can be integrated with your existing solutions, systems, and hardware. So in addition to the traditional typical connections, such as desktops and laptops and mobile devices that we are used to, Google also offers several specialized devices, rugged devices, for a range of use cases across different areas. So we have manufacturers like Zebra producing rugged handheld devices, all the way up to AOpen producing rugged kiosk, point-of-sale systems. And these connections for every use case keep growing day by day. And this can extend all the way up to VR and beyond. So in general, Google-powered devices and services create a connected workspace, and this can help drive business impact. So we can look at connected employees, connected workflows, and connected customers across many different verticals, whether it's retail or manufacturing, transportation, and so many more. But for the purpose of our session today, we're going to highlight and walk you through several journeys in the retail vertical. So let's take this example. So you have customers and enterprises who can have in-store applications that use advanced analytics, such as machine learning and artificial intelligence, that detect that a customer or a shopper is in a particular aisle for a certain period of time, and it delivers offers and personalized recommendations to his or her mobile device. The second example, retailers can deploy smart digital signs in their physical brick and mortar stores. Tied with beacons and sensors, these screens can display contextual information based on the audience and also use various signals such as the time of the day, sales flows, promotions, and so many more. And VR is another technology that can be very, very applicable. So think of immersive experiences. So an experience where you want to immersively customize the fittings in your car in a showroom. Or think of augmented reality, where you want to have a contextual rich experience, such as think about how would this IKEA furniture look in my living room? So reimagine the physical in-store experience. Think about different dimensions, all the way from self-service screens to personalized store experiences to connected associates. And Google offers this opportunity to lower the costs as well as to streamline the entire administrative experience and workflows, while at the same time empowering your customers and your employees. Greg will next talk about the different connected customer journeys with Coca-Cola.
Thank you, Vidya. So hi, my name again is Greg Chambers. I run digital innovation for Coca-Cola, and Coca-Cola is a global company, which means I frequently get asked questions by my boss like, hey, that's really cool, you made that work on a new Google Pixel phone. How well does that work on feature phones in sub-Saharan Africa? all kinds of different challenges that come into play with that. And every time I think I get used to using a cloud and really helpful with Google Cloud, one of my cruise lines shows up and is like, hey, that's great, Greg. Can you make it work floating in the middle of the ocean? So when we talk about innovation at Coca-Cola, I'm an architect. I write code by training. And I can build some really cool stuff. But a lot of times it's not about building the coolest thing out there. It's about finding solutions that work in all of these different environments. And that's really why we like the Google solution for signage so much. I'm Coca-Cola. I'm sold at every grocery store in the world, every convenience store in the world, every different type of environment and different evolution that you can think of. I have seen with my own 2 eyes stores where our product is sold that are still running Windows 3.1. I kid you not. So when we set out to build this solution, we had to build something that was incredibly flexible, right? It's not like we own all of our own stores and we can control the environment in them. We're Coca-Cola. We're sold inside of somebody else's store, which means I'm always going to be held up by whatever the technical roadmap of who I'm going into as a partner is. And that was one of the big challenges that we were ultimately trying to solve with this. So we started working with Google and the Google Cloud tools in about spring of 2005. And roughly 3 months later, we had a fully fledged prototype of this solution. Now on this chart that you see, there's something marked as an alpha. This is an incredibly nice glazing over by Google and Coca-Cola's marketing department. Alpha, in this case, was incredibly rough. What you can't see in that picture from the incredibly smart photography angle that we use is that screen is actually on that cooler with duct tape. As a Southern company, we are big into using the traditions of our forefathers, if you will. The next one, very shortly after that, we came to beta, and we wanted to expand on that and provide more interactivity to it. So this is what we call an OBBO rack. If those of you who are not CPG marketers, OBBO means occasion-based bundle offer. That is fancy marketing talk for doing a partnership offer. Why it's just not called partnership offer, I don't know, but I didn't get to write the marketing books. From there, that was a very, very easy display running the same exact technology and software stack, Chrome all the way through, in a touchscreen environment. And basically that rack was a partnership with Mission Foods. Mission Foods, if you don't know, makes tortillas and products like that. And you walked up to that screen, it was ask you a simple question. It's Taco Tuesday, would you like beef, chicken, or tofu tacos? Based off what you selected, it would automatically beam from that display a shopping list to your phone with including the locations of every ingredient you needed to be able to make that meal tonight very quickly. Even if you wanted to go to the deli and have them cook the chicken for you, and you could just take home cooked meat. And that's ultimately what we're about in building retail environments. It's about convenience and utility and helping people get things done. Helping that person who's usually me, walking to a grocery store at 6:30 at night with my 7-year-old in tow going, Daddy, seriously, I haven't even eaten lunch yet, and it's 6:30 at night. So from that, we build utility in the experiences. We took all the learnings of that, and we moved to the Coca-Cola iconic end cap. Incredibly arrogant name, I will give you that. I didn't name it. That is actually went into Albertsons Safeway stores here in the United States, and it's now been scaled globally. That end cap actually exists on every single continent now, exception of Antarctica, with the scaling that we've done with it now. That end cap is very simple. It's a beautiful Coca-Cola bottle that we could do a whole presentation on what it took to make that beautiful bottle in and of itself, but it runs that digital kit. And very simply what it does is it takes all of the intelligence and all of the web-based ad marketing that we've been doing online for forever, and Google has pioneered so well, and brings it to the physical world. And so if you think about this, if you think about the transition that we already went through when we moved to the web, we took plain text documents and we started marking them up with links and interactivity and media and all kinds of other things. At Coca-Cola, we work with our partners to do the exact same thing to the physical world. So if you think about a grocery store and you think about places that you can create interactivity and hyperlinks, those are places that you can use beacons. You think about places within a page or within a page of text that you would use video or things like that. Those are places that we use screens now. So ultimately what we are creating, with Google's assistance is the ability to create a markup language for the physical world and be able to do the same transition that we all saw from text to the web interactivity happen within the retail environment. So that we provide this amazing shopping experience for people and make people forget how convenient sometimes a delivery is. I am an architect by trade. I do write code still. Very proud of that fact. And as an architect, I am legally required to show you an architecture diagram in every presentation that I give. So thank you for indulging me in this. Now, I'll tell you, one of the things that internally at Coke, when I'm not on stage, you'll hear me get on a soapbox about is like, look, guys, we're Coca-Cola. We have to work with everyone. You know, we can't make architecture diagrams that look like a Google commercial because that looks like a Google commercial. So what we normally do is we normally build diversification in to protect ourselves as a business. In this case, we did not set out to make a Google commercial. We set out to design a solution, and we put the best component for each one of these tiers into the diagram. I didn't set out to make a Google commercial. I didn't set out to go on a speaking tour with them. We were simply trying to solve a problem, right? And it started with DoubleClick. One of the things that we were really asking ourselves was, you know, like a lot of this digital signage on the market, it has CMS systems and things that are great if you're, you know, if you're just broadcasting a simple message, like here at a trade show, right? Like here's the schedule for the day. Those systems are great. But really what we want is we want it to act like ads online. So I get an ad that's tailored to me when I open a page, and Vidya might get an ad that's tailored to her when she opens a page. So we started tinkering around with DoubleClick and kind of extending it, making it do things that the manufacturers told us it wasn't supposed to do. And started realizing that, you know what, this concept and how it works on the web, and this same thing that's powering about 80% of the world's internet traffic ads right now, works beautifully for the physical world. And so we started building around that kernel of DoubleClick. I'm a big fan of Google Data Studio. I think it's an amazing product. My big joke around Google Data Studios, it's like Crystal Reports, but it actually works. The older guys in the audience, you get it. We started using Google Analytics really helpfully. And then we added in Google Cloud. I'm a big fan of Google Cloud. I think it's an amazing set of tools. And once we added that to Chrome, we had a system that was fully functional, fully operational, could be extended with partners, is available via APIs for partners to be able to hit and integrate with. It just solved all of these problems that manufacturers on the marketplace of digital signage today were telling us were unsolvable. And that's the kind of, I guess, the double-edged sword of being an architect sometimes is people tell you can't do something and you know damn well you can. So one of the other big things in this design that's incredibly important to us is this use of Eddystone and the mobile phone. Coca-Cola, we're all about numbers and analytics. It's how we understand our universe. It's how we plan our world. That's how we do everything, is by numbers and analytics. And when it comes to digital signage, I thought it looked good. I thought it, you know, added to the experience of location. But I had nothing to quantify that, right? Like I could walk into a space and be like, yeah, it looks super cool with the digital sign over there. But I had no data to back up that that was actually useful. And that's where Eddystone came and solved a problem for us. Generating that second screen content, being able to broadcast over to that mobile phone, all of a sudden gave me the ability to understand who engaged. It gave me to understand the ability that when I play a Sprite ad or I play a Diet Coke ad, this is the response that I get from those. It helps us understand how effective that content actually is. I love my brand. I'm the biggest fan of Coca-Cola in the entire world. But I will give them a good-natured ribbing from time to time because that's what friends do. And when it comes to content, sometimes that video of a Coke pouring that we've seen 500 million times by this point in our life just kind of fades into the background and we don't see it anymore. We've seen it so many times before. And so that second screen broadcast gives us the ability to understand that. Who is actually responding? Who is actually responding to drinks being poured over ice versus drinks being, you know, enjoyed in the sun? Those basic differences between content, that second screen broadcast becomes the most critical piece. It helps us understand what's effective and where to take the program from there. Now, this is the iconic end cap. One of the other things that we did with this is in that screen, On that second screen broadcast, the web page that opens up from the Eddystone URL broadcast also includes the DoubleClick cookie. It's all same content browsed from DoubleClick. So you know what that means? I can understand who that person is just like I can on the web. I may not know that it's Greg, like personal PII information when browsing around, but I can see things like your affinity categories, your demographic information, and I can tailor that ad to vary dynamically based off of that, so that I can ensure that I serve the right ad to the right person at the right time. And here's a good example of that. I shop two very distinct ways. I hinted around about the 6:30 with my son in tow. I do that a lot, actually. But other times, I actually enjoy to cook, right? So I take two basic shopping trips to the grocery store. One is incredibly hurried and rapid, and the other is very leisurely. They're quite opposite in their nature. Traditional marketing, and the traditional way that Coca-Cola looked at marketing, would have that store market to me the same regardless of that occasion. They would actually market to me as a person instead of marketing to my occasion that I'm in the store. And that's the power that Google Cloud really unlocked to us, right? If you were to broadcast to me content as I'm hurriedly going through a store looking for dinner about the difference between wild-caught salmon and farm-raised salmon, it's not a time that I care about that story. If you, however, broadcast content to me as I'm going through the store that says the deli has rotisserie chicken on sale, you can get all the sides that go with it and a 2-liter of an amazing, deliciously beverage for $6, you know what? That is content I care about at that moment. And that's the difference between effective advertising and annoying advertising. And that's really where digital comes into play for what we're doing. As a brand like Coke, we try to be a friend to all of our consumers. We try to help, we try to provide utility, and not tell you about the difference between salmon that you don't care about or on occasion you don't care about. Digital signage has a lot of purpose-built applications to it that we've discovered. So as an architect, this almost worked like class development for me. If any architects, developers in the room, you have your generic, and you inherit down from that into purpose-built applications. One of the things that we know at Coca-Cola is that digital menu boards drive our business. Some way, shape, or form, sales at a restaurant, especially a quick-serve restaurant, go up by about 4% when you install digital menu boards in that location. Pretty universally across all continents of the globe. It's a pretty universal human thing that happens. Here's the problem that we saw. So at Coca-Cola, we're like, great, 4% more people going through there. Ding, 4% more people buying beverages. This is fantastic. However, we started looking around at digital menu boards. We kept getting these numbers back. It was like $40,000 or something like that, like to be able to install a digital menu board system. I'm like, geez, man, like a Honda Civic doesn't cost that. It's just 4 TVs and a media player. So we started looking through and we started working with our friends at Google. And we were able to take all of the same stuff we were doing in retail and digital signage and apply it to digital menu boards. And what we've been able to do with that is take the power and the economy of scale that Google Cloud offers, the knowledge and the retail know-how that Coca-Cola has, and combine that together into an incredibly inexpensive, utility-based digital signage and menu board product that our customers can enjoy and use. We want our customers to have that 4% volume lift from digital, but we don't want them to go finance a new Honda Civic to do it. So through that partnership with Google and people like Vidya mentioned AOpen, we were able to put this menu board product out there for about 20% of the cost of everything else that was out there in the market. And super cool, in December of this year, we're actually going to be releasing an app that will allow you to control the entire experience straight from your phone, including being able to document and build a digital menu board with your own food very simply. This is really designed for local eating and drinking, which is going to be your mom and pops of the world, but the big customers are already interested in it as well. Part of what we love about being at Coca-Cola is being able to take these things and use our scale to level out the playing field for a lot of these things and provide technology that would have been difficult for some smaller customers to be able to get their hands on and use effectively and really show them the way. To us as Coca-Cola, that's kind of like the moment that a chef comes out and puts the plate of food down and you see that person's face light up as they taste it. We love helping our customers be successful, and that is something that is just absolutely drilled into the DNA of Coca-Cola. Other thing that we discovered as we went down the line is there's two kinds of signage in this world, right? There's what we call passive signage, and that's what you typically see out in the world today. The trade show has passive signage up and around to tell you where to go and what sessions are where. Passive signage, really, at the end of the day, is like a glorified automated PowerPoint, right? It's just running in a loop. It's informational, it's useful, don't get me wrong, but it's not exciting. It's not, you know, I'm a developer and architect. I know what can be done with HTML. I know what can be done with mobile languages. And I'm like, can't we do more than a PowerPoint? So we worked with Google and we created this idea of active signage. And this uses all kinds of Google Glue and Google connectivity with the cloud to be able to make these really seamless experiences. So active signage, good example, is at cinema. Think about a cinema, right? You have all this real estate that's out in front of this amazing place. It's typically put in a prominent place within a location. And it's all paper. Look at all that real estate out in front of the theater. All of those could be kiosks. All of those could be places where you can order tickets without standing in line, that little ridiculous curlicue line that they put at the box office. So what we were able to do is take this same solution using just good old-fashioned HTML5 and create an active signage solution in partnership with Google and Fandango to be able to buy tickets from any poster. You want to see the trailer? No problem. You want to be able to, you see the show times? No problem. You want to be able to enjoy that movie that you're going to go see with Coke and a popcorn because Coke's delicious? No problem. It's that easy to do. And what's really great about it is it didn't take an advanced kiosk that cost thousands of dollars. It didn't take a whole bunch of expensive hardware. It literally took an $85 Chrome device and a standard screen that you can buy at Best Buy or Walmart. It's very, very, very simple to put these things together and put very impactful experiences together. And this is the #1 thing that we lecture our customers on at Coca-Cola, right? You don't have to spend a lot of money. Every single one of our customers is showing up, telling us how big their digital budget is, and I'm like, that's great. You don't have to spend that kind of money. Google has built amazing tools to help us go fast, do things in a greater sense of style, and be able to drive really, really amazing experiences because of that. Next thing I want to talk about is analytics. Analytics, this is like just absolutely in the DNA of marketing at Coca-Cola. Everything for us revolves around numbers. I use constant amounts of mathematics that I told my math teacher in middle school that I would never use again every single day in what we're doing. And that's what we really like about this solution. That double-click cookie that I talked about earlier allows us to be able to understand who is engaging with that sign. Basic demographic information, basic gender information, basic affinity category information, just understanding who's there. But here's what I really like about it. It does it in a way that doesn't include any PII. Very simply. It's browsing. It's the same way that's on the internet. The system has no idea who you are personally. All it understands is metadata around what you've been doing. So all of the systems that my innovation group builds at Coke absolutely don't use this idea of PII at all. You think about some of these techniques that we're talking about understanding people and targeting and all of that, and that's always ripe for privacy discussions, right? Not us. We don't want to do that. Nobody wants to be tracked when they're walking around a grocery store at the end of the day, right? But we can look at simple factors that are just, factors that if I was sitting in a chair and watching people go by, I could pick up on. The rate of speed at which you're walking. Remember those 2 grocery store trips that I talked about earlier? The one where I need something for dinner right now and the one where I'm planning a dinner party? What do you think the speed of my walk is going to be in those 2 circumstances? Don't you think of the 6:30 one where I need dinner immediately, I'm going to walk in a much different rate than I am in the leisurely trip? Those are simple, non-invasive, non-privacy threatening ways that we can understand our environment and help market to people in a way that provides utility to them, right? Without email addresses, without logins, without any of that kind of junk. How many times have you guys signed up for something just to see like 7 pages of like, here's my Facebook account, here's my email, here's who I went to prom with, all the way down through it. So the absence of PII in this entire solution, combined with the information that you're able to see about it, is where I think the true innovation in this solution is. Driving experience in such a way that it allows us not to feel intruded upon as we shop, as we interact in the world, makes us comfortable. And when we're comfortable, we spend more money. We're more free with what we're able to do. So I can even draw a direct line, and we've done the research for this, that when consumers know they're not in a tracked environment, and they know that there's no PII moving, they actually spend more money. They actually buy more impulse purchases. And I'm Coca-Cola, I'm the king of impulse purchases. So one of the other things that we wanted to do with this is start to make these store environments brand friendly. That was one of the big things that we were looking for, right? Grocery stores. We're not the only brand that needs to operate in the grocery store. There's a home improvement store that you may have heard of before.
Will you take the questions at the end?
Yes. So there is a home improvement store that you may have heard of that literally is hiring people full-time to go around and change out brand displays, digital brand displays with USB sticks in their stores. There's so many of them, right? And if that's already happening, that means it's going to get a lot worse. So part of what we were really looking to do here was build a brand-friendly environment. And that's where DoubleClick becomes so helpful to us. Stores that we work with don't have this challenge just from Coca-Cola. They have it from Clorox and Campbell's Soup and every single other CPG that's out there that needs to get into that environment to reach their consumers. So instead of providing a solution for just us, what we want to do is be good partners to our partners and be able to provide them a mechanism that could be reused with lots of other brands. So, any questions that I can answer?
Yeah, first question is, what's the reason of using only red color? Is it because of branding?
Only in the presentation?
Yeah, all the slides, I mean, because what happens if I'm a colorblind and there is a same shades of color? I mean, do you have somebody who gives you that you have to use only red? I have not seen this kind of...
I hear you. I understand that. I'm at Coca-Cola. I would love to stop using as much red. But there's only so many arguments I can get into at Coca-Cola.
But they have to be safe, right? I mean, female, male, everything, different age group.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's probably the Pandora's box that gets, yeah, that's the Pandora's box that almost gets opened here, right? With the ability to target anyone, you now have a need to build content for anyone. Coca-Cola has spent a lifetime building things like the Hilltop commercial, right? That was when there were 3 networks on TV. And you could make one commercial, play it on all 3 networks, and reach everyone that way. It's not the world we live in anymore. What other questions can I answer? Vidya can answer.
Is any of this system connected to your on-premises infrastructure that you manage yourself?
So that's where it gets interesting, right? Because we're always a product within somebody else's store, that on-premise infrastructure is never mine, right? I have 2 stores in the world, one in Las Vegas and the world of Coca-Cola in Atlanta. So my life would be so much easier if I had on-premise infrastructure of my own that I can integrate to. So we take the approach in how we design this to make it act like a product, not an implementation, right? So Google Home is a great example of this, right? You buy Google Home, you take it to your house, and it works with whatever Wi-Fi router you have and whatever other stuff that you have within your house. And it's the same exact principle within retail. I don't get to dictate as an architect the on-premise environment, systems, platforms, protocols, or anything. So I have to build something that's flexible enough to respond to whatever, even in places like sub-Saharan Africa.
So to what extent have you been able to do multivariate testing, different displays, and then at what point do you start to share that with your grocery chain or your other trade partners?
So everything we do is around numbers and collaborating, right? It's around education and understanding, and sometimes it's almost about hacking humans at the end of the day. And so a good example, most Coca-Cola consumers, when they see a piece of content and they see someone holding a Diet Coke and it says 50% off all Coke products, even though it says all Coke products, they make an internal assumption that it's only for the product that that person is holding. So those are little techniques that we've had to discover through A/B testing and multivariant and everything else to, like I said, kind of hack human beings to make them understand really what we're saying.
So, in case it lost these displays, right? These are digital displays. It doesn't have its own brain. So it lost access to its brain. It lost connectivity.
The cloud is the brain. The cloud is the brain.
It lost access to its brain. It lost access to cloud. It doesn't have internet connectivity. What will happen exactly?
So everything is cached on the device. So even if you lose connectivity, which a lot of, I don't know if you guys have ever looked at like retail store connections in general, they're typically like the height of 1997's DSL technology. So everything caches to a local device, and we have like failover scenarios.
To that, so Chrome OS and I think a lot of what was designed is using HTML5, right? So HTML5 is designed to work offline. So one of the design principles for any app developer would be to build as much of the offline capabilities, especially as you look at this mixed mode, hybrid mode environments, right, where you're going to be online, offline, have partial connectivity. So I think that will be a key design principle.
So the reason why I said, right, so the most opportunity for you guys to give your presentation, give you advertisement where there's a lot of crowd out there, and when there's a lot of crowd, the connectivity always a problem. Isn't it? That's what really happens. When there's a lot of crowd, it's kind of crowded, it's slow, and it cannot reach its brain. So how you can effectively market that? Because I know HTML is kind of dumb. It does have cache capability, but it's not going to make any
I would vehemently disagree with you as an architect. I have thousands of these displays across the world. I have less than 0.01% of them having any connectivity at any given time. I would vehemently argue as an architect that you're incorrect.
So let me give you an example. When we are like everyone here, the hotels provide the internet connectivity, and it's like whenever like most of the crowd is present here, it gets really slowed down. So it's very difficult to reach out.
I would vehemently disagree that the implementation of that can solve all of those problems.
Yeah, it's all about implementation and how you deploy it. Yeah, I think it's a large part of it.
So the kiosk that you had is a cool-looking kiosk with the Coca-Cola bottle. You talk about the solution. What was the problem, really? You didn't go much into the problem. You went right to the solution. What's the problem you're trying to solve with that kiosk?
So real simple, right? So at the end of the day, Coca-Cola is an impulse product. Right? And we love e-commerce. We love all of our e-commerce partners. We love all of the e-commerce partnerships that we have. But at the end of the day, we have an entire segment of our business called IC, immediate consumption. All right? And so without retail stores there, that side of the business doesn't exist anymore. If you're not walking through a grocery store, think about where you see Coca-Cola. The #1 place you probably see it is at the cash register at the grocery store, convenience store, or someplace else like that. If you're not standing in line anymore, if we let retail go the way of the dinosaur, we don't invigorate those environments, there's a huge business risk for us in that environment. Huge. So don't get me wrong, love e-commerce. Don't tell Amazon I hate them. Like, love them to death, great partners. Vidya didn't hear that. But at the end of the day, like, we need people still shopping. And we believe in retail. We believe in this new hybrid environment between commerce and e-commerce. That's really the way that we're going to shop going forward. I'm the biggest believer in convenience. I love delivery. I love ordering anything I can possibly order on my phone. But at the end of the day, sometimes I just want to go to the store. And I don't want to feel like I'm shopping with my mom 20 years ago when I do it.
What consumer demographic is interacting the most with the digital display ads? Is it a younger audience, or is it just across the board that's most effective?
So this is one of my favorite parts of my job, right? I love taking people's assumptions around stuff. So you look at that display, and it automatically looks like it's millennial generations engaging. It's not, it's boomers. Boomers are the one who like it the most. And I think part of that is that we've taken some technology that seems very difficult to engage with, and we've done so much work to make it really, really simple that all of a sudden it's, you know, as a boomer, you're walking through stores sometimes and it doesn't work, or they're poorly executed. And the way we've designed ours, it just works every time. It's just really, really simple. We've done artificial multivariant tests where I've put delays in the software artificially so that it actually creates, you know, artificial delay. Every second that we add to the engagement, engagement drops by 10%. I mean, pretty universally, you know, so when I add 2 seconds, 20% fewer people engage with the solution. But boomers, by and large, are the ones who like it the best. And I'm sorry, the lights are really bright, so if there's anybody raising their hand in the center section, I probably can't see you. It's the benefit of being a star. Thank you for realizing that's a joke. What else can I answer for you guys? Awesome, let's party.
Okay. Thank you.